Hey guys, this is the pattern for my beginner bandeau crochet top, and here's just, I did it in blue and I also did it in purple with a white border just to give you guys some color ideas. I've tried it in a lot of different colors and they all turn out really nice. So for this tutorial you're going to need sugar and cream, 100% cotton yarn. You can use the peaches and cream, I think is the other kind. It's a weight 4 cotton yarn and I did mine in the color wine. And you're also going to need a 4.5 millimeter crochet hook. It suggests a 5 for the yarn, but I like the tighter stitch. And then you're going to need scissors and a yarn needle. To begin, you are going to make a slip knot, and then you are going to chain 16, and this would be for a size small and a size medium. For a size large, I would suggest chaining 18. And once you get to your chain, you're going to, after you've chained 16, you're going to single crochet in the second chain from the hook, and then you're going to single crochet in each chain all the way down to the end. And when you reach the end, this is what it should look like at this point. And then you're going to do another single crochet in the last chain. So you're going to have 2, then you're going to chain 1, and then I grabbed a stitch marker right here just because later on it's harder to see when you do the next row. And then you're going to just do 2 more single crochets right into that same hook, and then you're going to continue to single crochet all the way down the edge. I like to hold the tail of the yarn right in the middle of the work, the tail from when you started, and crochet that in along so I don't have to weave in the end later. And just single crochet in each stitch all the way down, and then you'll see why we use that stitch marker when we get back around. Then when you get to the end, it should look like this. You may want to count the stitches and make sure you have an even number on both sides, because sometimes you might do an extra stitch or not do enough stitches. And then you're going to chain 1 and turn. And then again, you're going to do 1 single crochet in each stitch all the way down until you get to where you put that stitch marker in on that chain 1 space on the previous row. So once you get to this stitch marker, you're going to make a single crochet in there. You're going to chain 1, and then I grabbed another stitch marker to put in there again. You can move this one, you can use yarn, you can use a paper clip. You don't really have to use stitch markers. I just have them and prefer them. As you can see, I struggle really hard right here trying to get the stitch marker on. But once you get that on, you're going to put your hook back in and then do another single crochet right back into where my green one is in your first row, that chain 1 space. As you make more rows, it gets easier to see where that little chain 1 space is, but on the first 4 rows it can be kind of difficult to tell where it is. You can always just count and then know when you get to that one number that's where you have to do your chain 1. You have to do your single crochet, chain 1, single crochet all in 1 stitch. And so now you're going to single crochet in each stitch all the way down to the bottom. And then once you get to the bottom, you're going to chain 1, turn, go all the way back around, chain 1, turn, and you're going to keep doing this in the U shape until you think it provides enough coverage for you. And this is what mine looked like at this point. I did 11 rows. For a small, I would do 10, and for a large, I would do 12 or more, depending on what you need. And then now you're going to chain 1, and you're going to turn your work so that you're working on the end of the cup, not around the other edges that you had been working on. And you're just going to do a single crochet all the way along the bottom. A simple rule for this to know, because there's no stitches for you to go in, is to just try and do 1 single crochet per row of single crochets you have right there. As you can see, sometimes it can be difficult to push it through, but however many you end up with, you're going to want to try and make the same amount of single crochets on the edge of your other cup that you make. But it doesn't matter if you have, 26, 28, 27, 20, just as long as they're the same on both cups. And this is what it will look like when you finish doing that. And then right here you can cut your string and tie off. You can choose to weave in the ends right now, but if you wait, you can kind of sew it in. You can crochet it in as you do your border. So now you're going to make a second cup completely identical to the first one you just made. And, write down the number of rows that you did and all that so that you can make sure that they're the same if you didn't do the same amount that I did. And you're going to put your cups right side together, and you're going to count 3 stitches from that top chain 1 space, and you're going to tie on your yarn on the 3rd stitch over. And I just put a slip stitch, I slip knotted and put it on my thing and then made a slip stitch in that space to tie on. And then you're going to line up your other cup in the exact same spot and count 3 stitches over and insert your hook. And you're going to draw up a loop. Sorry, I went off camera right here. But basically you're going to do a single crochet and single crochet those 2 stitches together. And then you're going to go up towards the middle of the cup. There we go. And make a single crochet in each of those stitches all the way up, including in the chain 1 space. You're going to want to go through both loops of both cups. And I show it right here for you. So you go through the first one, then go through the second one, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through. So you're just using these, and this is how you connect your tops. The seam is not really that noticeable when you have it on because it's where your cleavage is, so it doesn't really like press up against you or rub or any weird way. It's actually like really flattering, and I felt more secure having it that way than trying to connect it in a different way. And then now you're going to knot tie off, and you're going to begin to single crochet along the edge of your cup. And I did picots on mine, which is where you single crochet 3, and then you're going to chain 2, and you're going to slip stitch back into the single crochet that you just did. And then here I'll show you how to do it again. You're going to single crochet 1, single crochet 2, single crochet 3. And then this is what it looks like. I'm going to zoom in here for you. And then you're going to chain 2, 1, 2. You're going to insert it right in the front of that single crochet from that 3rd one you did and slip stitch. I'm going to show you again. See, I go right in the front of the stitch. I don't go through the top of the stitch. There's a little V in the front, and that's kind of where you want to go through. Then you're going to single crochet in the next stitch, single crochet in the next stitch, and then single crochet one more time. You're going to again chain 2, insert it in the front of that single crochet, slip stitch, and then go on and continue the single crochet 3 picot, single crochet 3 picot all the way down. You might end up with like an odd number at the end. You might only be able to do 2 single crochets before you get to the corner. It might be 3, it might be 4. It doesn't have to be perfect. It really is not that big of a deal when you get to the edge. But you're going to go all the way, do that pattern all the way to the corner. And when you get to the corner, you're going to make your first strap. And you're going to chain out as many as you want. But I chained 100 for my next strap. if you want to know exactly how many I did. And once you've chained 100, you're going to slip stitch back in each chain all the way back down to the corner. Technically you don't have to do this, but the thicker your straps are, the more comfortable it is to wear, and it doesn't strain on your neck as much. You could even single crochet in the straps all the way back down, but I think that with this thickness of yarn, that a slip stitch is sufficient. And so you're going to go all the way back down to your corner again. And then here I am at the end of my corner. And now you are going to begin to single crochet in each stitch all the way along the edge. And you're going to do this all the way down, no picots. You can do them on the sides, but I prefer the simpler look of not doing it on the edges. And sorry, I don't know why it's really foggy. It was daylight when I started this, filming this, and I got distracted and whatnot, and then it was dark, so the lighting's a little off. But now you are going to do your back strap, your first back strap, and for mine I chained 80. You can do 100 again, it really doesn't matter. It's up to you, however many you want to do. So you're going to chain 80 and then slip stitch all the way back down, come back down to the corner again. And then again, you're going to start your picots again. And so you're going to do your single crochet 3, chain 2, insert it in the front, slip stitch, single crochet 3, repeat, so on and so forth. And you're going to do this all the way until you get to the middle of your cup. And I wanted a picot to land right in the middle where my cups connect. You can choose to just single crochet right over it and not do one in the middle, but if you want to do it exactly how I did it, I did one in there. I did have to skip a stitch right here to make it be even so that there were 3, which is fine. If you have to skip a stitch or just add another single crochet in somewhere to get your picot to land right in the middle, that's totally okay. It's really not noticeable. That's a good thing about crochet, is that you can change it and make little edits to it and fix it as you go, and no one will notice. But if you do like skip one or add a single crochet on the right side, then make sure you add or skip the same amount on the left side so that your picots will be even on both sides. And then again, you're going to continue this. You can see I have the tail end of the yarn from an earlier cup right there that I held in and weaved in as I went. That's why I didn't weave in my ends earlier. And then you're going to continue to hold that in and your that tail end in and crochet your border around. You're going to do your next back strap, which is a chain 80 and slip stitch back. You're going to single crochet up the edge, chain 100, slip stitch back, and then you're going to begin the picot border again all the way back to the middle of your cup, which is exactly what you had did for the other 2 sides. If you need to go back on the video and look to see exactly how it was done, you can. And so now I'm just doing the last few stitches in this border to get me back to the middle. And then again, I wanted the picot to be on the top right in the middle again. So I did that with my single crochet, chain 2, slip stitch it. Man, I was struggling right here. And then you're just going to slip stitch into that first single crochet along the other cup. And then you can cut your string, tie off, just pull it through, and you're pretty much done at this point, except for you just need to weave in your end of this string, and you're also going to need to cut off all the other ends that you have previously in there. The great thing about this seam with the single crochet in the middle here is it makes it really easy to weave in your ends. I love weaving my ends into seams because it's less noticeable, it's super easy to do. So I just show you how to do that real quick, and then I just looped it back around the last one twice right there, kind of make it a little knot for itself, and then just cut it off close. Make sure you don't cut your work. And then I have all these other ends that I weaved in throughout, so I don't have to weave those in. I just need to cut them close to the yarn without cutting my project. Also, these scissors, I love them. I don't know what brand they are, but I think I have them linked on my blog. They're super sharp and they work great. And you guys should totally look into getting a pair because they're my favorite scissors. This is what it looks like when it's all done. The yarn for this costs like $1.90, I think, so like for less than $2 you can make this top. They're great to sell at craft fairs or festivals or anywhere else like that because they're so simple to make and they're so inexpensive to make. I do have a written pattern for this up on my blog. I will put the link to that in the description box, and I will also put it here at the end of this video for you guys so you can see it. Subscribe if you want to see more videos. Thumbs up would be great. Don't have to. I really hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and if you have any suggestions for tutorials you'd like to see in the future, just leave comments down below and I'll see what I can do. Thanks, guys.